Senator Hough here for our weekly update. Only 2 weeks left of session, and we're continuing to see a lot of bad legislation come through that is aimed at the Trump administration, at the federal government. Some of it's frivolous, some of it will have really bad impact. So last week I talked to you about the sanctuary state bill. This week legislation has been passed the Maryland House and Senate that is basically a backlash or an attempt to swipe at Donald Trump and his Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos. But really, that is the guise for it. What it really is a teacher union bill that was put through that will dramatically lower Maryland's educational standards, make it harder for parents to understand how their schools are doing, and finally, it would make it much harder for the state to come in and help a school district or a school that is failing and help those children that are in a failing school. So really bad legislation. In fact, the Washington Post, which is generally anything but a conservative editorial board, wrote this week about it that this legislation would tie the hands of the State Board of Education as it devises a new accountability system for performance. The bill would lower the education standard 55% of school accountability rating, which would favor factors such as teacher satisfaction over actually students' achievement. And that would make us one of the lowest standards, would be the lowest standard in the nation as far as that goes. So again, how we measure student achievement, we'd be at the lowest level nationally. The bill also bars the state from taking significant actions to reform the worst performing schools, and even for districts that have failed for years to be set straight. And it also says that you can't do a simple grading of schools. So if you want to look at a school in your area and see how it's doing, a simple letter grade A through F so parents could understand, you couldn't even do that. So it takes away transparency from parents. And it's a real shame that this legislation is moving forward. The State Board of Education has vigorously opposed it. They've pointed out correctly that it undoes years of work by the state of Maryland, that we have become a leader on accountability over the last 20 years and measuring achievement for students, and that that's one of the reasons why our school systems has been ranked #1 nationally. This bill undoes a lot of that work. Even the Washington Post rightfully called out there was nothing more than a teacher union bill that undoes a lot of our accountability and achievement standards. Fortunately, Governor Hogan said he will veto it, and we'll see. I'm sure there will be an attempt to override his veto.